Ethan had always been a dreamer. He aspired to achieve great things in life, success, wealth, and happiness. However, despite his ambitions, his mind often became his greatest enemy. It was restless, filled with endless thoughts, doubts, and fears. Every time he tried to take action, negative thoughts would creep in. What if I fail? What if I am not good enough? What if people laugh at me? These thoughts consumed him, holding him back from reaching his true potential. Instead of moving forward, he found himself paralyzed by fear. His mind constantly raced, jumping from one idea to another, never allowing him to focus. He felt trapped in an endless cycle of anxiety and self-doubt. One evening, after another day wasted on overthinking, Ethan sat by the river near his house. He watched the water flow effortlessly, unbothered by the rocks in its path. Frustrated with himself, he sighed. "Why can't my mind be like this river?" he muttered. An elderly man sitting on a nearby bench overheard him. The man had a peaceful presence, with calm eyes filled with wisdom. "Because you have not yet learned to discipline your mind," he said. Ethan looked at him, confused. "Discipline my mind? I don't even know how." "I try to focus, but my thoughts won't let me." The old man nodded. "Come with me tomorrow morning, and I will teach you." Curious but skeptical, Ethan agreed. The first lesson is to control your thoughts. The next morning, Ethan met the old man in a quiet garden. The air was fresh, the birds were singing, and the world felt still. The old man handed Ethan a bowl filled with water and said, "Carry this around the garden without spilling a drop." Ethan frowned. "Is that it? Just carry a bowl?" The old man nodded. "Try it." Ethan walked carefully, focusing on keeping the water steady. At first, it was easy, but soon distractions appeared. The wind rustled the leaves, insects buzzed around him, and his own thoughts began to wander. "What's the point of this?" he thought. In that moment, he lost focus, and the water spilled. The old man smiled. "You see, your mind is like this bowl of water. If you do not focus, outside distractions will cause you to lose control. To discipline your mind, you must train it to focus on one thing at a time." Ethan realized how easily his thoughts had shifted. He understood the lesson, but wasn't sure how to apply it to his life. The second lesson is to face your fears. The old man took Ethan to the river and pointed to a large rock in the middle of the flowing water. "Tell me, Ethan, why doesn't this rock stop the river?" Ethan thought for a moment. "Because the river keeps flowing, no matter what is in its way." The old man nodded. "Exactly. Fear is like that rock. If you let it stop you, you will remain stuck forever. But if you keep moving forward, your fears will eventually become insignificant." Ethan sighed. "I know I should face my fears, but it's not that easy. Negative thoughts just come." The old man picked up a handful of sand and threw it into the river. "Do you see how the river takes the sand with it? Your mind must do the same with negative thoughts. Acknowledge them, but do not let them control you. Let them pass like the sand in the water." Ethan understood that he had been holding on to his fears instead of letting them pass. He made a silent promise to himself to face his doubts instead of running from them. The third lesson is that small steps lead to significant change. The old man led Ethan to a tall tree in the garden. "This tree was once a small seed," he said. "Did it grow overnight?" Ethan shook his head. "No, it took years." The old man smiled. "Just like success. You cannot change your life in a single day. But if you take small, consistent steps, you will grow." Ethan realized his mistake. He had been waiting for big bursts of motivation to take action. But success wasn't about motivation. It was about discipline, showing up every day and taking small steps toward his goals. Over the next few months, Ethan practiced what he had learned. He trained his mind to focus by completing one task at a time. He stopped running from his fears and began to face challenges head-on. He set small, achievable goals and worked toward them daily. At first, it was difficult. His old habits tried to pull him back. But he remembered the river, the bowl of water, and the tree. Slowly, he began to change. His mind became calmer, his confidence grew, and he no longer allowed fear to control him. One day, Ethan returned to the park and found the old man sitting on the same bench. He smiled and sat beside him. "I finally understand. Discipline isn't about trying to control everything. It's about training my mind to stay steady, no matter what happens." The old man nodded. "And that, my boy, is the key to self-discipline and success." Ethan knew he still had a long journey ahead, but he was no longer afraid. He had learned the most important lesson of his life. If he could discipline his mind, he could achieve anything. To discipline your mind, focus on setting clear goals, identifying and removing temptations, practicing mindfulness and meditation, and building new habits while forgiving yourself for any setbacks. Effective self-leadership, as well as leading others, fundamentally relies on discipline. Happiness, success, and fulfillment come from maintaining focus and exercising self-control. It can be challenging to remember this when faced with an all-you-can-eat buffet, tempted by the chance to make easy money, or battling the urge to sleep in instead of getting on the Peloton. However, studies show that people with self-discipline tend to be happier. Why is that? Because with discipline and self-control, we are more likely to achieve the goals that truly matter to us. Self-discipline acts as the bridge between the goals we define and those we successfully accomplish. Tell us your thoughts on the story and subscribe for more inspiring videos. Thank you.